Stadium in New Jersey. It's Week 8 of the NFL on EA Sports. Daniel Jones and the New York Giants taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on. Losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The Giants go to work on offense for the first time, and it's Daniel Jones leading the way, the number 6 pick in the 2019 draft.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On second down now, it's Freeman. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
He's brought down.
They'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Third and 4.
From the gun, Jones. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. The Buccaneer offense taking the 21, his first, of course, in Tampa, the great Tom Brady.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns, I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person, obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. Touchdown passes culminated it.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On the draw, this is Fournette. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Well, the ball goes back to the New York Giants, and obviously, Charles, not the way that Giants fans wanted to start this season, 0-5. It's not a silver lining, but they have been in quite a few of these games, including Week 5 at Dallas, losing 37-34. Yeah, I would say, though, if you look at the NFC East and how down it is, they're not out of it, right? I mean, they're only a couple of games out of first place at this point.
Yeah, you just mentioned before it wasn't a silver lining. That last part you just brought up, that is a silver lining. Just a couple of games back in the NFC East. So if anyone could ever get on a semi-hot streak and win 3 in a row, they could break this division wide open, and the Giants have to say to themselves, why not us? Now, here's a great opportunity to gain some ground coming up. 2 games within the division, host Washington, and then a Thursday night matchup in Philadelphia. Both of them out there for the taking if the Giants can put it together.
Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves them with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And Ingram holds it in. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. Caught right side, Tate. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 34.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
And the Buccaneer defense for the 2nd straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. And Ndamukong Suh with a sack. We've seen that a ton since he entered the league in 2010.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover.
And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. He'll begin with a give to Fournette to start the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. We're scoreless after 1.
With no score.
2nd quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Now the 30-year man from USC, this is Ronald Jones. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Taken down at the 43-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Brady on target there to Godwin. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. They go back to the ground with Jones. Oh, now he pulls him over. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 32-yard line. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Chris Godwin. 1st and goal.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him a more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. 1 back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8.
Brady sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Brady now on 3rd and goal. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs.
Pass complete to
Mike Evans with touchdown number 7 on the year. As his guys are on the board first here tonight. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. On the return, Corey Ballantyne. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This Tampa Bay front was the toughest group to run the football against last year, and you can see why with plays like that. This is a good unit that got into the backfield and stopped that play before it could get started.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Tate. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out. Cover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And it coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 3-2 in their 3-game win streak snapped Thursday night in Chicago, Week 5, losing 20-19. And, of course, that was kind of built as a rematch between Tom Brady and Nick Foles, opposing QBs in Super Bowl 52. And Brady had never lost on Thursday night in his career. He was 7-0 prior to that one. And, Charles, it really had a bizarre finish.
To put it mildly, there's Tampa Bay trying to make their final drive with a chance to win it. You expect Tom Brady to lead something really strong and give them that opportunity, and somehow he lost track of downs. Now, it happens to all of us, right? We're all human, We just don't expect it out of maybe the GOAT, right? So it does happen. He's showing the 4 fingers to the official like, isn't it 4th down? And they're like, no, that was 4th down. So a major surprise. Love how his head coach Bruce Arians jumped in and defended him. Tom Brady never really truly addressed it right after the game. Bottom line, though, this Tampa Bay team, they lost a tough one on the road, but they're still going to be a playoff contender.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Brady. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. That catch good for only a couple. Tom Brady, of course, a member of the Bucs now, but it was these Giants who were his Super Bowl nemesis. Twice they were able to take down Brady's Pats in Super Bowls 42 and 46.
Brady's pass.
And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants 16. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Eluding the pressure right. This is caught. Gronkowski. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And with just 1 second remaining in the 1st half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will do it for this 1st half. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where you see the final score there. Ryan Tannehill leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. 28-27 the final in a tight one. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And it was the visiting Atlanta Falcons who come in and get the victory. Matt Ryan, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. In the game you're watching, it's who else? Tom Brady with a strong 1st half. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the 2nd half is underway. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. The 2nd half starts with a carry by Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
The ball carrier.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
And 8 yards to go.
Airing this one out for Evans. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26.
A gain of 47.
A big play for the Bucs there on 3rd down. 47 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun give to Fournette. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. They'll run it again with Fournette. Down right around the 25. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would have...
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Dexter Lawrence in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Valentine to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Here's the first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Freeman again. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
William Gold.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Operating from the gun. Jones. Got a man. Slayton.
That's good for a Giants 1st down. 1st and 10.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the 1st down.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
23 yards on the play. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Intended for Evan Ingram. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and goal.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Throwing Jones. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown Giants. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown.
For the extra point.
And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Fielded in the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Brady now on first down. Looking downfield for Godwin. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Jones throwing on first down. They'll drop this one down to Freeman.
Jones pass.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He goes underneath to Freeman. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
It's a gain of 9.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield.
Devin White on the tackle.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it.
Shaquille Barrett. Tom Brady sacked. Fumble on the play.
He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. On the counter, here's Jones. The 20. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Buccaneers.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They'd done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Following the fumble recovery, Jones looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 31.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now,
your ring to that one, and it's a Buccaneers first down. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Fournette, a first down carry. And they'll get him down right about the 20. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Fournette. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Brady. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Chris Godwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
and your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point put through by Succop, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's complete left side to Shepard.
That's good.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. William Golston. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And this is going to be intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Shreds the tackle, brushing off defenders. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Logan Ryan.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Down to carry.
Leonard Fournette, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is.
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Ballantyne to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Bucs, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Giants, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, alongside Charles.